Okay, I'm going to go back over the story of the devil to see if we can find some tricks that the authors used, maybe some literary devices, symbols, metaphors, and see how those link to the themes of the story. So, this is the story of the peasant who had a mother who was dying, and the doctor says, "You can't leave her there. Dying, go back to work." So he has to hire a woman to come in and watch his mom while he goes out and he does the farming. They argue about the price, and the woman eventually agrees to do it for however long it takes for a price. And while she's watching the old woman, she makes sure that she gets the religious ceremony that she needs as her last ceremony before she dies. And then the old woman starts to realize that um, the or the nurse starts to realize that the old woman's going to live too long, and end up costing her more time. So she tells the dying woman a story about the devil. And then she puts on a costume and acts like the devil and scares the woman to death. So, in the end, the nurse ends up making a little bit more money on the deal than the man had hoped. So, it turns out that it may be a story about greed, maybe a story about manipulation, trying to make life work out the way we want it to. So, let's see if we can find any interesting devices that the author used as he was writing this story. Um, let's see. We certainly have a description of the farm in July, which is full of life. Okay, that could be interesting. That could be used later when they talk about death. Then they'd start describing the characters, and the dying woman is described as greedy and money hungry. So the characterization, the way the author characterizes the characters, actual direct description of them as greedy. So in case we're reading and we don't really know what's going on, the author has already steered us towards this concept of greed. But the doctor then argues against being greedy over the needs of the mother. And so the doctor highlights this problem of greed. Okay. And of course, the man doesn't want to spend the money. And it turns out that the woman also, the nurse that he's going to go to, also is greedy. And so what they do is they end up making a deal to save money. Isn't this representing their desire to manipulate life and their greed? The interesting thing is, somewhere along the story, the nurse makes sure that the old lady gets the religious ceremony. So, what is this a device for? What is this a metaphor for or symbolic of? Um, for some people, it would be religion and it would be respect. So, I'll write down religion, comma, respect, comma, or reverence. For some people, it would be possibly more than that. It could be superstition, um, beliefs. And of course, the priest does come and give her the last rites. And what happens? The woman continues living, and so the nurse tells her the story of the devil. Again, playing on religion or beliefs or superstitions. And the crazy thing is, the nurse does climb onto a chair dressed as the devil, and she scares the old woman to death. Now, is that considered murder? Is that showing how far that she will go for greed? And the irony is that when it's all over, she has made more money out of the deal than if she had been working by the hour. So you're going to take these ideas and anything else you can find, and you're going to put them into your mid-year comparison chart. Any of these examples of greed through the characters, any of these behaviors, any symbols you find, any references to religion, superstition, beliefs, and then you're going to notice, hopefully, that the things that you found can tie to the major themes of the story, the themes about greed, the themes about manipulating life, the themes about putting money as something more important than family. So you will notice, hopefully, that your literary devices and your themes support each other, just like they did for the other stories that you've done.